Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. With the passage of HB 2724, Virginia law enforcement agencies are entering a new chapter in the collection and reporting of stop data. The requirements tied to the VCPA have already introduced a level of operational complexity, and now ALPR related stop data adds another layer. Beyond compliance, there's something even more important at stake here, though. The value this data brings to your agency, your community relationships, and your internal decision making. In this webinar, we're going to bring clarity to these evolving mandates, and we're going to help you meet them with confidence. I'm Chris Arvayo. I'm the head of government compliance initiatives at SmartForce. I'm also a retired police sergeant from a major city police agency. I've been with SmartForce for about 8 years. Um, and I've been where you are, balancing state mandates with day-to-day operational realities. Over the past 4 years, I've focused my work on the research, design, and practical application of stop data systems. At SmartForce, our goal has always been to bridge the gap between compliance and real-world policing, to make this data not just a reporting requirement, but a tool that supports your agency's mission. Let's take a look at what's changed with this new law and more importantly, why it matters. First, HB 2724 became law in May of this year. And with it, Virginia now holds the distinction of having the most robust ALPR regulations in the country. That's not a small shift, it's a major policy step that places Virginia at the forefront of ALPR accountability. Second, agencies are now required to track and justify every ALPR related stop under a much stricter set of rules. This isn't just about capturing a hit, it's about documenting the stop, the justification, and the outcome in a way that stands up to both internal and public scrutiny. Third, here's the timeline. Stop data reporting under this new requirement doesn't begin until fiscal year 2027, but changes to the DART VCPA data collection schema will take time. And DART's going to announce these changes on July 1st. Agencies will need to start planning now. Phased implementation, coordination with record systems, and internal workflows will need attention well before that reporting deadline hits. And finally, what does this really mean for your agency? It means that every ALPR triggered stop must now be fully documented, clearly justified, and easily auditable. That includes demographic data, action level detail, and the context of the stop itself. This is where compliance and operational clarity intersect, and that's exactly what we're here to help you prepare for. Now let's break down the core requirements of HB 2724, the law itself, the operational details, and the deadlines that matter. First, ALPR use is now limited to 3 lawful purposes: criminal investigations, locating missing or endangered persons, and combating human trafficking. That's it. Any use of ALPR outside those categories puts an agency at risk of noncompliance. Second, every stop based on an ALPR hit must be tied to a documented reason, something specific, not general. That means identifying the alert or event that triggered the stop and connecting it clearly to one of those 3 legal purposes. Third, your stop reports now have to go deeper. Each report must include demographic data, the actions taken during the stop, and a fully traceable audit trail. That audit trail needs to show who accessed what, when, and why, without any gaps. Fourth, there's a strict timeline on data retention. ALPR must be purged after 21 days or possibly 30. I believe the governor may have put an amendment in there upon signing the bill, depending on final interpretation. So unless it's tied to an active investigation, then you can keep the data. However, your audit trail must be retained for at least 2 years, regardless of whether the ALPR data itself was deleted. And last, each agency will be responsible for submitting an annual report to the Virginia State Police. These reports will begin feeding into a statewide compliance and transparency report, and the first one of those reports is due by April 2027. These structural shifts will require planning across IT, patrol operations, records, and leadership. So now that we've covered the requirements, let's talk about what it means in real terms for operations, for reporting, and for your mission. First, these new mandates will require real operational changes, and they go beyond policy updates. It's going to affect how stops are documented in the field, how data is entered and validated, and how reports are generated on the back end. It touches patrol, it touches records, IT, and leadership alike. Second, while the legislation is clear on what must be done, it doesn't provide the how. There's no playbook, no built-in tools, and no guidance on creating workflows that actually make this manageable in the real world. Third, the implication is the same as before. Every ALPR triggered stop must now be documented, justified, and auditable with full demographic and action level detail. That bar isn't changing, but how you meet it can. And that's where strategic solutions like CitizenContact come in. So let's talk a little bit about what ready actually looks like. CitizenContact is built specifically to meet the demands of HB 2724 and the Virginia Community Policing Act, all within one consistent, efficient workflow. First, when it comes to ALPR and VCPA related stops, officers can document the required information in just 45 to 60 seconds using the structured, intuitive, audit-ready forms. When we first built CitizenContact, one of the worries, one of my worries as ex-law enforcement, was the ease of use and end users, burdening end users too much. And we made sure that we built this in a way that's very easy for officers to use. And we've been very successful with that. Currently in Colorado, there's over 140 agencies utilizing this to collect and report their stop and contact data and also analyze it. Currently in Virginia, where we just recently started to be more active, we currently have 9 agencies, the largest agency being Richmond Police Department. It's field ready tech, it's fast, it's clear, it's compliant. Second, configuring a tag, a feature that we're really proud of, takes just seconds, and agencies have full control to define exactly what they want to track, whether it's ALPR alerts like stolen plate or warrant hit, or broader initiatives like high visibility enforcement, community policing, or hotspot strategies. Tags can be added quickly and used immediately by the officer. This not only simplifies reporting and boosts consistency, but it also replaces free-form notes with structured, audit-ready data, making every entry easier to analyze, easier to explain, and ready when you need it. Third, every entry is automatically linked to your agency's defined areas, patrol teams, specialty units, and active policing initiatives. Your data just isn't stored in CitizenContact, it's organized in a way that's immediately useful at the officer, analyst, frontline supervisor, and command levels. And again, this isn't about more paperwork, it's about less burden and more benefit. Strategic solutions like CitizenContact are designed to reduce administrative drag, turn mandatory reporting into meaningful insight. And the bottom line is here that it's purpose-built. It's a tool that helps your agency stay ahead of compliance while enhancing operational visibility at every level. So let's shift gears a little bit and let's talk about how this isn't just about compliance. It's about building something more. And over the last 4 years, we've learned a lot. We've received a lot of feedback from great agencies telling us what they'd like to see from this, going from a basic compliance tool to way beyond that. First, you can document much more than just traffic stops. You can capture data tied to community policing efforts, mental health encounters, DUI and impairment related interactions, and traffic safety initiatives. These are the everyday things your officers are already doing. And CitizenContact, it just gives you a way to track them clearly and consistently and easily. Second, as we mentioned earlier, the legislation tells you what must be done, but it doesn't give you the tools to do it. That's where this kind of platform fills the gap with a workflow that's operationally sound and purpose-built. Third, once you have structured data coming in, you can start to use it, feeding it into hotspot analysis, improving resource allocation, and informing agency level strategy decisions. So let's talk about what happens after compliance, because with CitizenContact, you're already ahead of the game. CitizenContact doesn't just help you meet the mandate, it gives you robust analytics right out of the gate. The officers get their own analytics. They can see what they're doing every day, what kind of activity. If your agency is working certain projects, you want your officer to know what they're doing. You want them to be able to look in and visualize their data, see it, see how they're doing from week to week, month to month, and if they're doing what they need to do to help you meet your mission. You can use the data that you're already collecting with this tool to inform strategy, identify trends, and support everything from staffing to community engagement. It's not just about the reporting, it's about insights. And when you're ready to scale, you're not starting from scratch, you're already in the ecosystem. What we've learned over these last 4 years working with agencies around the country with stop data is this is something that you can connect to other systems. And that was a request that we received right away. Right now, we're in the process of building a product that connects to this called Nexus. And what does Nexus do? It expands on what CitizenContact is already doing. So when you get CitizenContact, you can be confident that in the future, if you want to scale this into other things, if you want to seamlessly integrate this into additional data sets like CAD, RMS, eCitation, and ALPR, you can. You don't have to look somewhere else. You have a tool that's going to be with you that already does it. It's built to connect, not replace. So you can grow from stop level insights to truly unified agency-wide operational picture. And this is something that we're really excited about because agencies of all sizes can have access to this type of technology. So I want to go over a little bit about where we're at now with all these changes taking place and already having some customers in Virginia. Um, and so we can give you an idea of what you need to do to get ready for what's ahead. This week we met with DART. We met with the DART team to stay aligned with the upcoming changes to the Virginia Community Policing Act. Data schema. We're not guessing at what's coming. We're working directly with them. We have a really good working relationship with them, so we can help you stay ahead of the curve. The updated data schema will be released on July 1st, but the good news is you don't have to wait. Agencies can begin documenting ALPR related contacts today using proven best practices that are already built into CitizenContact. When I saw this law get passed, we already had agencies in Colorado, for instance, already tracking these kind of initiatives from ALPR to high visibility enforcement grant activity, to do evidence-based requests on getting more of this equipment. And CitizenContact is a great way to use this tool to be able to show that evidence of what you're doing and show justification for other tools that you may need to bring into the community. And if your agency wants to see how this works firsthand, we're offering personalized demos. It's something that we can quickly do and show you the capabilities, how it supports your agency with compliance right now, and how it positions you for what's next, all with a focus on minimizing disruption and maximizing your return. Real quick, I want to mention one more thing from the last slide. One thing that we get asked quite a bit is from people that are in records, whether it's someone running records. They want to know at the end of the month, how am I going to get this into Crime Insight, into the portal that the state requires us to get it to? How much work do we have to do? You don't have to do anything. Your IT doesn't have to do anything. We take care of all of that for you. All this requires is for your officer to enter the stop quickly and in real time. That goes into our analytics engine. It goes into our advanced filtering engine. And so your frontline supervisors, your analysts, your command staff, they can all start gaining insights immediately, because once that officer enters that stop, in real time, it goes into that engine and it's showing in those analytics. Another question we often get asked right away is, well, how much does this cost? Because you have mapping, you have tools that we've looked at before, and they're quite expensive. And we're at SmartForce, we're pretty proud of our transparent pricing model. If you go to the CitizenContact website, you can look in pricing and it's there. It's the same for everyone. It's $99.99 per user per year. And that includes everything we've shown and more. ALPR documentation, Virginia Community Policing Act compliance, analytics, your audit trails, and the reporting support that you'll need in the event that there's any type of changes to the way DART is collecting their reporting. There are no setup fees for CitizenContact. Depending on the size of your agency, if you have an agency with 30 to 50, you can be up and running in this in about a week. If you want to be. If you want to take your time, 30 days. But you can immediately set this up and start reporting quickly. There's no added cost to that down the road, and no minimum agency size. So whether you're serving a population of 5,000 or 500,000, this tech is accessible and it's designed to scale with you in the future. So before we close, I just want to thank all of you for taking the time to be here today. I know how packed your schedules are, and I hope today's session gave you some clarity on what's coming, what's required, and what's possible as we move forward together under this new House bill and the Virginia Community Policing Act. If you're interested in learning more or setting up a personalized walkthrough of how CitizenContact fits into your agency's operations, don't hesitate to reach out to me. My info is here. Whatever's easiest for you, I'd be happy to connect. We'll be sending out a follow-up materials in an email and a recording of today's webinar tomorrow morning. So with that, you'll get information on CitizenContact. You'll get some details that would prep you that if you want to go to the next step and see what it looks like, see it in operation, we'd be happy to do that. But we'll give you everything you need before that, so you'll have a good idea of what you're going to see. So again, thanks for your time and the work you do every day to keep your community safe.